my channel. Today I wanted to do a book review for you guys. Last time I mentioned that I actually been reading and that I was super psyched about it. I actually started reading Hush Hush by Rebecca Fitzpatrick and I finished it, and I'm actually finished with the second book as well. But I want to wait and do a review on that one when I'm done with the whole series, because pretty much after the first book review, you pretty much get into all the spoilers. And I know it's an older book, but if you're like me and you hadn't read it yet, I don't want to spoil it for you. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit about the book, some of my thoughts on the book, and then yeah, we'll go from there. So let's get into it. So Hush Hush kind of starts off with the main character, Nora Gray. We meet her, and her father was recently killed in this tragic accident downtown. He went downtown, he got shot, mugged, something along those lines. And so he has passed on. And so Nora and her mom are kind of making it work. They're kind of struggling with bills and just getting through. So her mom took this job where she has to go out of town a lot. So Nora's kind of on her own. She's actually got someone that kind of caretakes, cleans the house, cooks her food for her, that kind of thing, who's there during the day. But at night she's pretty much on her own as far as everything like that. And she just has to check in with her mom. She's pretty much on her own, going to school, being a normal kid. And she always has her best friend V around. And most of the school settings take place in her science class, where she's partners with her best friend V. And then one day her teacher decides to mix things up and gives her a new partner, and her new partner's name is Patch. Patch is quiet, mysterious, and she's really not sure if she wants to never leave his side or run as far away as possible. But they end up having to do this assignment where they have to talk and get to know each other, and then they have to present. And pretty much Patch can read her. He knows everything about her without even having to ask. But she tries to do the same with him. He won't tell her anything. He's very elusive. And so she kind of has to track him down to get some more information. And things kind of just snowball with their relationship from there. But then on the flip side of that, you have her friends and family telling her to kind of stay away from him because he seems kind of sketchy. All these people in her life telling her to stay away from him. And then there's this new guy in school named Elliot, who seems to be interested in Nora, and I feel like most of the book she's kind of just giving him the time of day to kind of take her mind off of whatever's going on with her and Patch. One of my biggest pet peeves with this book was that Patch's name bothered me so much at the beginning of the story. I hated the name. I absolutely hated it. It reminded me of this TV show I used to watch when I was a kid called The Saddle Club. The little girl's horse was named Patch, and every time I read it, all I could think about was oh, he's a horse. So that was kind of obnoxious. But then a couple chapters in, you actually find out it's a nickname, so that made it a little bit better. But then you don't find out what his real name is until the very end of the second book, which was super obnoxious. And then by that point, I was used to the name Patch and had gotten over disliking it so much. So then they threw this real name on me, and I'm just kind of okay. Now I'm used to the other name. Her best friend V, I feel like the beginning of the story, she's not the best friend. She's more interested in these guys that she wants to hang out with. She likes this guy Jules that Elliot's friends with, so she's kind of pushing Nora on Elliot so she can be with Jules. And even some shady stuff happens with her and Elliot, and V's still kind of oh, it's not his fault, it's okay, we should still hang out with them. And I don't know, it was just kind of bad friend written all over it, I think, and that kind of bothered me. V does get a lot better in the second book. I will touch on that more later, but she definitely becomes the real best friend I think that one should expect to have if you're really that close with someone. So that kind of redeemed her for me. I really liked the way that there were so many kind of different lanes to the story, and how they all kind of webbed together and then eventually unraveled, and all the little points got solved, and everything was explained. So I really appreciated that aspect of the book. That it was definitely attention grabbing, and that there were so many different things going on. You're even if something one little piece gets resolved, you're kind of oh, well, what about this part? So you want to keep reading still. So that's kind of where I left off on the first book. Something had kind of unraveled another piece to the puzzle, and I was well, now I have to read the second one because I have to know what's going to happen next. I actually just finished Crescendo yesterday, and I'm going to start Islands, I think it's called. But I'm going to start that one later today, so I will keep you guys posted once I'm done with the series. It probably won't be much longer because I've already read 2 in like the last couple days. So I'll keep you posted. But yeah, if you guys have read this book, I would love to know your thoughts, and if you know any other books that are like this that you think I would enjoy, I would also love to hear those recommendations. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see other videos like this, please subscribe. But I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday.